MLB The Show's coverage of Major League Baseball is on the air. A good one on tap for you this afternoon between the Washington Nationals and the New York Mets. It's Mets baseball next on the show. Jacob deGrom is on the mound for Game 2. What do you have for us on him, Danny?
This will be interesting. This guy won the NL Cy Young Award last year. He's a solid pitcher, Matt. And one of the things he does, he throws the ball into the strike zone, and he's not afraid of contact. Solid pitcher.
A speedy Trey Turner digs in now. He will lead this one off today. The 2-2. Fouled off. A very fine afternoon for baseball. 67 degrees here at first pitch. Now a swing and a miss on the slider as the leadoff man is set down on strikes to open up the ball game.
Boy, that's really disappointing for a guy that has wheels, right? All he wants to do is get on base and take advantage of the strength of his game, which is his speed. But with the strikeout right there, you can't get on first base if you strike out.
So now to the plate, Howie Kendrick. And it's fouled away. One out, nobody on. To 2 balls and 2 strikes now. So let's take a peek at the umpiring crew in this one. Behind the plate is Matthew Ross.
Well, Devo, you better be ready to swing. With Matt Ross behind the dish, big zone.
Yeah, you know coming into this one, you better pull the trigger. If something's close, Matt Ross is going to punch your ticket.
Grounder down the line at third, but a foul ball as it holds it 2-2.
Looked like he was cheating a heater right there, a little bit too far out in front. Gotta find a way to keep his hands back.
And a swing and a miss as they got him with the slider there, 2 away.
The main job of the number 1 and 2 hitters is to set the middle of the order up with an opportunity to do some damage. So when you strike both of them out, you're putting yourself in a pretty good position to make it through the teeth of the lineup without a whole lot of stress.
Into the box, Juan Soto. Outside with the fastball as the count moves to 2-1 now. These Mets fellas, as they take the field here today, they didn't get it done here in front of a big opening day crowd, but they'll look to get back on track here.
Yeah, Matty, I know it's not do or die. It's only game 2 of the season, but you never want to drop the home opener, and you certainly don't want to find yourselves 0-2 when you leave the ballpark today.
3 balls and a strike to the Nationals left fielder. And it's belted high and deep into right center. Cespedes going back to the track. On the warning track, he makes the catch. Nationals gone in order. And now the Mets offense will go to work for the first time. No score. Steven Strasburg gets the ball for Washington in this one. What do we need to know here, Danny?
Steven Strasburg has been good since he put on a uniform. The pride and joy of San Diego State University. The closest thing we've seen to Nolan Ryan. Mid to upper 90s fastball. Great changeup, great curveball, and great slider. Very, very rarely do you see a guy have a 4-pitch mix that's as good as Steven Strasburg's.
So here's Jeff McNeil. He'll lead things off here in the bottom half of the first. He's set. Here comes the 1-1. Fellas, the Nationals, as they take the field here today, they were the spoilers here on opening day as they took game 1 of the season on the road.
Yeah, Matty, not easy to start opening day on the road and grab a W in the opponent's ballpark, but that's what happened, and they come into game 2 with a chance to set the tone in this series.
Lifted the other way down the left field line. And that will end up a foul ball.
Hey, last 2 pitches back-to-back, off speed, then he's late on the fastball. He could pretty much do anything he wants right here on the mound.
Here now the 2-2. He swung on and missed. He got him on strikes.
Boy, there's nothing like seeing a good power pitcher that has a good fastball. And what does he do? He just throws this good fastball right by, brings the express. No chance to put that ball in play.
Stepping in now, Michael Conforto. And look out as that fastball ran in and got him. Ouch bang.
Man, not sure if he was trying to send a message early in the game or what, but I sure hope this doesn't carry over to the rest of the game. Sometimes things like this early in the game really sets the tone for problems later, but I hope that's not the case.
Next up for New York, Robinson Cano. Now the 1-1 pitch. And he popped him up over toward the left side of the infield. Turner is there, 2 down.
Batting fourth, the first baseman, Pete Alonso.
And next will be the Mets cleanup hitter, Pete Alonso. The 1-1 is blasted out to left center. This one's deep and not coming back. Gone! So a 2-run shot to left center. Second home run early in the year as the Mets are out in front now, 2-0.
What a way to start this one off. Scoreless top of the frame, and you answer with a bomb in the bottom of the first.
At the plate, Dominic Smith. And that misses. 2-1. Strasburg has both great strikeout stuff and exceptional command on the mound to go with it. A rare combination, but one that makes him one of the best in our sport.
Matty V, you talked about it. He doesn't walk a whole lot of guys. Well, if you don't walk a lot of guys, that means you have to throw the ball in the strike zone. And when you do with great stuff like this guy has, he racks up the strikeouts. There aren't a lot of guys that get strikeouts by throwing the ball in the strike zone. This is one of the few that does it.
This one misses, and that'll fill the count here. 3-2 with 2 away. Yoenis Cespedes would be next if they can keep this inning alive. Now the 3-2 pitch. Pulled toward right center field. Center fielder giving chase. He gets there to make the catch, and that ends the inning. But the Mets do strike for 2, both coming on this 2-run home run. We'll head to the top of the second. It's now 2-0 New York. Leading off the inning, Vladimir Guerrero, as they'll look to get something going here and even this game up.
Hey, we're still in the early stages in this one. They're only down by a couple of runs, but it's really key for this leadoff guy to try to get on and get a big inning started.
And that misses for ball 4, so it's a leadoff walk here to start the second.
That is fifth, the center fielder, number 10.
Striding in, Andre Dawson, as he'll get his first opportunity in this one. Guerrero gets his lead at first, nobody out. Maybe too much break on the slider. 2-1.
Sometimes you got to be aggressive offensively, but sometimes you just let the pitcher dig his own grave. Patience and discipline seem to be the way to go right here.
the 2-1.
I got 3-1. 3 balls.
This situation right here reminds me of sitting on the bench talking to John Smoltz, Hall of Famer. He would always say, even though the situation looked bad, a pitcher is one pitch away from getting himself out of a tough jam.
The 3-1 takes a strike for a full count now, 3-2.
Ball, 3-2.
Hard hit ball to second, right to him, to Lowry at the bag. On to first to complete the double play.
Nice job on the mound to bounce back from the leadoff walk. Those are usually pretty costly, but that won't be the case this time after the 2-ball.
So base is empty now after the double play, and that'll bring in the veteran catcher, Gary Carter. Count even to the kid. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Carter.
Look at the radar gun on that slider. Off-speed pitch, 91 miles an hour. That's just pure filth.
Bases are empty here with 2 men out. And now this ball's lifted in the air down the right field line, but this will get back into the seats, so the count holds at 2-2. Pitch on the way. Got him swinging, and that will end the inning. Nationals go quietly. They're down 2-0. Yoenis Cespedes striding in next. He's set to lead off the home half of the second.
One of the keys to securing a win, they want to keep the pressure on and try to build that lead as much as they can moving into the later innings.
The 1-1 home. Cespedes out in front here as this is pulled into the seats, foul down the left side. Here's a fly ball, well hit. Racing back the left fielder. And he tracks it down. Nice play for the first out.
Batting seventh, not shortstop, Lowry.
So the bases are empty with 1 man gone. And up next, the switch hitting Stanford product, Jed Lowry. Bases are empty, 1 man out. One and 2 now as that one's fouled off. Now here's the pitch. And a half-hearted attempt that time, but they'll say he broke the plane, and that's out number 2.
Always tough for one of these base umpires to make a call on a guy's check swing. It's not a great angle, and everything happens so quickly, so they really have to be paying attention out there. Looking at the replay, I think he got it right, so that's a tip of the cap for the Blue.
To 1 and 2 now. Strasburg comes set. Here it comes. And a breaking ball swung on and missed, and the side is retired. Down in order go the Mets. After 2, it's a 2-0 ball game. In now for Washington, Starlin Castro. 7, 8, 9, bottom of the order set to go here in the 3rd. And now a good slider that doesn't quite catch the zone. It's 2-1 now. Swing, line drive. That's going to be troubled. Around first is Castro, heading for second now. And the Nationals get a man into scoring position. It's a leadoff double.
Well, he was definitely not looking off speed on that pitch. I'll tell you, he had to be sitting on a fastball on that one because it's coming in hot, and he still manages to get out front of that and yank it for 2 bases.
At the plate now, Ryan Zimmerman. Called strike on the inside, and he can't believe it at the plate. It's 1-2 now. 2 balls and 2 strikes to count to Ryan Zimmerman. A runner at second, nobody out. He did well to get a piece that time, and it'll stay 2-2. Lifted in the air toward the line and right. Right fielder giving chase, and no one will track it down. Another one sent foul.
Don't be shocked if this pitcher tries to go a little bit further outside the zone. 3 foul balls in a row. He wants to get a swing and a miss on this next pitch.
The 2-2 is swung on and missed. He got him on strikes. The pitcher, Steven Strasburg, steps up to the plate in a sacrifice situation. So let's see if that is indeed on right here. Lifted in the air out towards left center. After it is Cespedes. He's got it. A nice play there. 2 away.
The bat, number 7, Trey Turner.
So it's back to the top of the order now, and in the bat is Trey Turner. The 1-1 home is a fastball well off the plate, but offered at for a strike.
Hey, love the confidence in that pitch right there, going right after one of the better hitters on this team, not afraid to execute.
Grounded up the first baseline, but this is a foul ball as the count holds steady at 1-2. Runner in scoring position at second with 2 down. Waved at and missed for the 3rd out. Not much of a chance at hitting that one, and the inning is over. 1 left for Washington. They're still down. It's 2-0. So here's the Mets pitcher, Jacob deGrom. He'll start things out against Steven Strasburg as we get the inning underway. Chopped on the ground to first. And he'll step on first for the out. 3 unassisted.
The batter, number 6.
Jeff McNeil will be the next to take a turn. 1 out, nobody on. A swing and a shot hit down the corner, and that's going to wind up hooking just a bit foul, so a missed opportunity there. Now the payoff pitch home. Swing and a liner. Leaps high as he makes the catch. Well done.
Off the bat, that had soft base hit written all over it, but a nice snag there by the infielder on that soft liner that could have been a potential base hit.
Next for the Mets, Michael Conforto. He's got to be looking for vengeance after getting plunked in his last at bat. 2 out, nobody on. Conforto behind, a ball and 2 strikes.
Hey, that's a great job by the pitcher right there, stealing a strike with that get me over breaking ball, and now he can get a little nastier with it in the dirt.
Strasburg comes set. Here it is on a ball and 2 strikes. Now a good pitch around the knees, but it doesn't quite catch the bottom of the zone. Line shot to second, but it's caught and the side is retired. Mets go down 1-2-3, but they hold a 2-0 lead. Here's Howie Kendrick.
Things not looking very good so far in this one, but we're still in the middle innings. They're down by a couple of runs, and this would be the right place and the right time to get something going. The last thing they want to do is to try to come from behind and win this one in the 8th or 9th inning.
Throw to first in time, 1 gone here in the 4th.
Not a lot you can do with that pitch. That fastball just ate him up inside and gets the soft grounder for the out.
So the base is empty here with 1 away, and digging into bat next, the ever dangerous Juan Soto. The 1-1. Turned on that one and crushed it, just pulled it a little foul. Good changeup in the dirt, strike 3. And he makes the throw to first. Soto is retired, 2 down now.
Now back.
Striding in now for the Nats, Vladimir Guerrero reached base via the walk in his first plate appearance. Just 1 hit apiece for both of these clubs. Fastball called strike, 1-2. And he lays off a pitch outside as they draw even at 2-2. And he struck him out, his 7th of the ball game, and that ends the inning. 3 up, 3 down for Washington. They trail it here 2-0. Stepping into the box, Robinson Cano. He's 0 for 1 thus far. Here's the 1-2. And he'll lay off the curveball that's in the dirt that time, and it's back to even now at 2-2. And he fouls this one off. Hit on the ground to third. Castro has it. And the throw pulls the first baseman off the bag, and he's safe at first. So you can mark that one down as an E5, and I'd bet he'd like to have that one over. Ready to take his hacks again, Pete Alonso, as he'll look to follow up the 2-run homer he launched over the wall last time up.
And that's been the entire offense so far in this one. They've been shut down other than that.
That misses, and we're even at 2-2. Two runs on just 1 hit, and no errors on the Mets line score so far. On a good curveball, gets him swinging for route number 1.
Pretty textbook breaking ball for the punch out right there. Got it to bend a lot, and by the time it got there, it had fallen completely out of the zone. Not much you can do with that pitch.
To the plate now, Dominic Smith. Hit in the air to straightaway center. Dawson's there, and that's the 2nd out of the inning.
Up next for the Mets, the center fielder, Joe Hennick.
So 2 are gone in the Mets half of the 4th, and up next, the big RBI-minded bat of Yoenis Cespedes. No offer on that one. 2 balls and a strike.
That hook stayed up in the zone. You can see he struggled with that curveball early. He's trying to find that release point with his off-speed pitches. We'll have to see if he can find the feel for that thing moving forward.
Line drive, base hit. Oh, and he can't come up with it.
He's lucky it's only a single back up the middle and not a double in the gap or a home run. Pitches like that in a show get absolutely hammered.
Lowry.
Into the box now, Jed Lowry. A 3-ball, 1-strike count to the Mets shortstop.
If I'm in the box right now, I'm coming unglued. He is going to throw something over the heart of the plate.
He loses him on ball 4.
I think he was trying to be a little too fine there, and a walk is the result. Well, the good news is he has a force at every base. The bad news, a single probably drives in a couple of runs.
So the bases are loaded here. 2 men gone, and next is the catcher Wilson Ramos. 2 runs on 2 hits, and no errors on the Mets line score so far. Swing and a chopper to the left side. Turner fields it cleanly, but go the short way to Kendrick at second, and that'll be that. Mets leave them loaded. They're up 2-0. All ready to go in the top of the 5th, and at the plate will be the speedy outfielder Andre Dawson. From the windup, the 1-1 pitch. High in the air down the right field line. But this is just going to wind up being a foul ball. And this pitch is foul tipped right into the glove of Ramos as he stays with it to record the strikeout. Another strikeout for him on the mound, and boy, is it fun to watch him go about his business.
No doubt, Matty. He's one of my favorites, mostly because of his stuff. You know, he can absolutely dominate on any given day because of what he offers up there. It's just nasty. There aren't many hitters that like to see this guy on the mound.
In now, Gary Carter, and he goes and chops this one out towards second. Throw gets him, 2 down.
Now back, the third baseman, Starlin Castro.
Here's Starlin Castro. It was a double for him in his first turn at the plate.
Yeah, he did a great job to go down and get that one his last at bat. But I got to think they're going to pitch him up, maybe elevate something in the zone. Interested to see how he approaches this next AB.
Fouled away. The 2-2. Hit to third. Throw to first in plenty of time, and the side is retired. Nationals gone in order. They're down 2-0. Set now for the bottom of the 5th, and next will be the pitcher, Jacob deGrom. He's set. Here comes the 1-1.
Ball, that's in.
You certainly know he's not trying to work around the pitcher, but sometimes the hardest thing to do is to throw a strike to a guy that you know won't swing the bat.
Now the 2-1 is in there for strike number 2.
Great job of doubling up with a fastball inside. A lot of times you'll see a pitcher go in there, but they won't go back in there a second time. This guy's not afraid to pitch inside.
The 2-2 is laid off and the count runs full. Jeff McNeil will be next. And a big cut at the breaking ball, but he comes up empty, and that's the first out.
I think that curveball is a big reason why he's able to turn things around in this start after a rough beginning. It's got some good bite to it. So that tells me he's doing a nice job of snapping it off out front. Really finishing that pitch like you're supposed to.
Standing in now, Jeff McNeil. On a big curveball is in there for a called third strike, and there are 2 gone.
Well, it's been a rough series for him at the plate so far. That's 4 strikeouts in the first 2 games, so this pitching staff clearly has him figured out.
At the plate, Michael Conforto. 3-1 now.
This is a good at-bat so far here with 2 away. If you're going to go down 1, 2, 3, at least make the guy work for it. He's doing that, and he's even gotten himself into a good hitter's count now.
And this is taken low for ball 4, and they'll have themselves a 2-out base runner here after all.
The batter number 24, second baseman, Robinson.
Now batting, Robinson Cano. It's been an 0 for 2 effort for him to this point. Swung on in the dirt for the 3rd strike. The throw to first is in time, and the inning is over. Mets strand 1 as they're unable to add to their 2-0 lead. Top half of the 6th about to get started, and next to bat will be the first baseman, Ryan Zimmerman. The 1-1.
Ball 2.
Boy, they've been just getting shut down right here. Been a while since they've even had a runner on. So I think it's time to start looking for ways to make some things happen. Drop a bunt, get up on the plate, something.
Now the 2-1 pitch. Hit high and deep to right center. Through first and hustling for second, and that one skips up over the wall for a ground rule double.
Steven Strasburg.
Adam Eaton will grab a bat and hit for the pitcher here.
Number 2, Adam Eaton.
Both teams with just 2 hits apiece thus far. This is hit high in the air out toward left center. And you can't ask for much more off the bench as he'll drive that run in with extra bases. And this will not be close, and the run will score easily.
Back-to-back doubles now, and that's a great way to get an inning going. The leadoff man shows him how it's done, and he comes right behind him following suit. Lacing a double of his own could be a big inning if this continues.
So now to the plate, Trey Turner, 3-1 to the National shortstop. Waiting on deck is Howie Kendrick. No one out with a runner at second. Skied into very shallow right. Conforto has to come in a few steps, but he has it for out number 1. And the runner, not tagging, will retreat to second base.
Second baseman, Howie Kendrick.
So striding in, Howie Kendrick, as he'll look to bring home that tying run from second with a base hit into the outfield. The 2-1. Lifted in the air to right field. Conforto is there, 2 down. In now, Juan Soto. He was sat down on strikes in his last at-bat.
Yeah, but it was a good changeup, Matty. Good arm action on that pitch. Look for him to try and stay back a little bit more. Let the ball get a little deeper. Don't be shocked if this pitcher tries to rush a heater right here.
Skied in the air to straightaway left. And he'll get there in plenty of time to put this one away, and that ends the inning. One for the Nationals on the RBI double. Bottom of the 6th coming up. It's the Mets 2 and the Nats 1. Ryan Harper is out from the bullpen now as he'll make his first appearance here on the season.
Number 33, Ryan Harper.
Bottom of the inning now, and up steps the power bat of Pete Alonso. This is line to left, and that finds some outfield grass. It's a base hit. So with that, the Mets have a runner aboard to get the inning underway.
That's a grind pitch right there. Fastball in off the plate, and this batter's able to fight and keep his hands inside this baseball and drive it for a knock. Impressive.
At the plate now, Dominic Smith. 1-2 to Dominic Smith. Couple of righties starting to loosen now in the bullpen. The 1-2 is a swing and a miss. That's strike 3.
That's just a great pitch, both on the call from the catcher and the execution. If he hits it, there's a good chance it turns into a double play ball, but it's also a spot that's going to get a lot of whiffs too. That's excellent pitching.
Into the box, Yoenis Cespedes. Cespedes behind a ball and 2 strikes. Both clubs with 3 hits in the ballgame. Fouled off. Hit hard on the ground to second, and that finds its way through for a base hit. And that runner will go no further than second as there are 2 aboard now.
Boy, that's one of the, I guess, the advantages of hitting with that hole between first and second base, D-Row. First baseman has to hold that runner on. That leaves that right side wide open.
Yeah, and credit the batter right there. Nice piece of hitting right there. Not trying to do too much. He took a look at the defense and saw where it was aligned and tried to beat him.
Into the box now, Jed Lowry. Hit on the ground down the first baseline. One there. Relay to Zimmerman, the double play to end the inning. Vladimir Guerrero will stand in to lead off the next half inning. 7th inning coming up. The Mets lead this one 2-1. New inning set to get underway, and standing in is the veteran outfielder, Vladimir Guerrero.
This thing's far from over, even though we're moving into the back end of this game. Only down by 1. Oh.
There's a swing, and he sends a ball high in the air into left field. Smith is going to get back, and he'll put this one away on the warning track for the first out.
The center fielder, Andre Dawson.
Striding in once again, Andre Dawson, 0 for 2 on the afternoon so far. We're in the 7th inning now of a pitcher's duel. 2-1 our score. Back up the middle. Oh, a diving effort as it's off his glove. And he'll make it to first easily on what will almost certainly be ruled an infield single.
Nice effort by the shortstop right there. Kept it in front of him. That's all he could do right there, Dan.
You know, Dealer, in a spot like that, that's an infield single. That's a tough play. Just to knock that ball down was a pretty good job. But any way you look at it, that should be scored a base hit, and I'm sure it was.
Dylan Betances is in out of the bullpen now as he'll be inserted into the number 6 spot following the double switch. Jake Marisnick will also come on now as he'll move into the pitcher's number 9 hold in the order here on that double switch.
Number 16, Jake Marisnick.
Quick check on that tying run at first, and he'll dive back in safely. Runner at first here, 1 man out. In now, Gary Carter. High and deep to right center. Marisnick going back. Still going back. And as Nationals fans have heard before, see you later. So it's a 2-run homer for Gary Carter. First home run of the campaign for him as the Nationals claim a 3-2 lead.
Hey, that's the price you pay right there when you try and sneak a fastball past this guy. Power hitter, and every power hitter in the league knows you got to start with the numero uno, number 1, man. You got to get on the heater and adjust to everything else, and he did just that.
Standing in now, Starlin Castro, and it's fouled away. Betances, a 32-year-old veteran. He was an 8th-round selection during the first-year player draft of 2006.
I know this guy wouldn't go into the category of superstar, but to grind out the career he has being drafted where he was, my hat's off to him.
Ready on 1 and 2.
All 2.
Some action out in the bullpen. Couple of right-handers starting to loosen up. He's set. Here's the 2-2.
3-2.
Every base runner in a close game like this really matters, so you can't afford to be giving out free passes this late.
He's set. Here's the 3-2, and he loses him on a breaking ball.
Man, that's just painful for a pitcher right there. A 3-2 offering that was right on the corner, but he couldn't get him to chase, and he doesn't get the call. Can't beat yourself up about that one too much.
Here's Ryan Zimmerman now. He doubled earlier in the game, 1 for 2 to this point. Still only 1 out in the inning. Oh, it's on the ground to second. Did he get his double play? To Lowry at the bag. Relay to first in time, and just like that, this side is retired. Nats pick up a pair in the inning on this 2-run home run. Bottom of the 7th inning coming up. Get up and stretch, and Washington's taken a 3-2 lead. Ready to go for the last half of the inning, and next to hit is the catcher, Wilson Ramos. The 1-1 is strike 2 swinging.
1 and 2.
Two and 2 to the Mets catcher. Here now the 2-2. Now here's one hit in the air to the right side, and that'll be a base hit. So right away, the possible tying run is aboard to start the bottom of the 7th.
How frustrating is that, Dan? He tries to bury something in with 2 strikes, and this guy throws out a fillet of fish to the opposite field.
You know, sometimes you have to tip your cap. That inside-out swing as a pitcher, you think you've thrown a good pitch, but sometimes as a hitter, they put a good swing on it and still ends up for a base hit.
So now to the plate, Jake Marisnick. And he pumps the fastball by him here. 1-2 now. Hoping to send him packing. Pitch on its way. Well, this is speared by the first baseman.
Now batting, number 6.
Now back to the top of the Mets order, digging in, Jeff McNeil. He struggled at the top of the lineup in this one, hitless to this point. The 1-1 misses above the zone for a ball. Now the 2-1. Popped him up. Carter waits on it. And he brings it in for the second out of the inning.
Up next for the Mets, the right fielder, Michael Conforto.
So a big moment here, and standing in, Michael Conforto. And he does so representing the possible go-ahead run. Hit hard towards center. In there, a base hit.
Hey guys, I like the execution by the batter there. He got a hanger in the middle of the plate. He could have come unglued, but he didn't. He stayed focused and drove a line drive base hit.
Now we're going to have a conference at the home plate area, so it would appear that we'll see a double switch here. Daniel Hudson will come on now, and he'll slide into the 7 spot in the lineup following the double switch. Josh Harrison is into the ball game as well, as he'll slide into the pitcher spot, hitting 9th now on the double switch.
Number 5, Josh Harrison.
Now in the box, Robinson Cano. It's been a rough go of things at the plate for him so far, but his guys are looking for him to change that right here.
Yeah, nothing better than coming through for the boys in a tight game, Matt, especially when you're kind of due to do something productive.
Big spot. 2 out, possible tying and go-ahead runs on base. One and two now. Hudson, originally from the state of Virginia, he was a 5th-round pick during the 2008 draft.
Hey, nothing has been handed to this guy. Drafted in the middle rounds, and he has found his way in the big leagues. This has turned out to be a really nice pick.
And he lays off a pitch outside as they draw even at 2-2.
It looked like he tried to get him to chase on that pitch there, 1-2. A good idea, but I think now he has to challenge him a little bit. He doesn't want to get into a worse situation with the cleanup guy up next.
Trying to hold the lead. Here's the delivery. And this misses, and Hudson goes to a full count now. It's 3-2.
No pitcher likes to take the count to 3-2, especially when you throw a non-competitive pitch like that on 2-2. That one wasn't even close.
And he misses ball 4. So now that potential tying run scoots up 90 feet to third base.
The first baseman, Pete.
So here's Pete Alonso as he's got a chance to tie this ball game up with that equalizing run just 90 feet away at third. The set and the 1-1. Big spot. 2 out, possible tying and go-ahead runs on base. And he fouls this one off.
seconds.
Lays off 2-2 now. This is hit high and deep out to left. And as Mets fans have heard before, that ball's out of here. So he will touch them all on the grand slam, his second of the game, and it's now 6-3.
And they complete the comeback with a flourish, going deep with a grand slam to take the lead. You don't get style points in this game, but I'd give them some if I could hand some out.
At the plate now, Dominic Smith changes up on him, but that's in the dirt for a ball.
You know, what I'm seeing here is a reluctance to throw the fastball. It's like he feels he can't throw the ball right by him right now.
The 2-1.
It's clear he just hasn't been able to find any rhythm out there. Pretty much unable to hit any of his spots, and now he's at 3-1, and he's put him into another great hitting count.
Hitters count all the way. Here it comes. High and deep down the left field line. And that will end up a foul ball.
You're lucky if you get one pitch a night right down the middle. Cannot be late on that fastball.
Crowd gets up for the 3-2. There's ball 4.
And I'm pretty sure he thought that was a strike. He's thinking, what do I have to do? Put a bow on it? Walk it down and put it in the catcher's glove by myself? I think it got called a little outside, so he has to put it behind him now.
Joe Ross is out from the bullpen now as he'll make his first appearance here on the season.
Joe Ross.
Keith Hernandez will get the call here as he'll hit for the pitcher.
Keith Hernandez.
Skied into straightaway right. Waiting on it is Guerrero, and he'll make the catch, and that'll end the inning. But the damage has been done for the Mets, and it came on this grand slam. We're through 7 this afternoon. It's the Mets 6 and the Nationals 3. Edwin Diaz has been summoned from the bullpen as he'll do so to start the 8th. Josh Harrison stands in, and he's getting his first plate appearance here in the 8th after entering off the bench just a little bit ago. Now the 1-1 pitch, and he can't get out of the way there, so the leadoff man will be aboard to open up the inning.
And this is a case of a pitcher letting his frustrations get the best of him. He feels like he gets robbed on the previous pitch, and he just rears back and really let it go on the next pitch, but it got away from him in a big way.
Here now is Trey Turner. It was a flyout for him in his last trip. Nobody out, runner on first. Two and one, the count to Trey Turner.
2 balls, 1 strike.
Now the 2-1 pitch. Hit down the third baseline. But this will wind up a foul ball. 2-2.
All you want is the leadoff man to get on to start a big inning, maybe get a big rally going to claw your way back into this ball game.
A runner at first with no outs here. So a full count now.
This would be an absolute terrible start to the inning. After drilling the first guy, you can't allow the second guy to reach base via the walk.
Here's the payoff pitch. Is put in play to the right side of the infield. To second for one, but no real shot at two as he's safe easily at first.
It's really tough to double up a guy with the speed that he has, and he was hustling all the way on this ground ball. So they should be happy they at least got the guy out at second. It'll be interesting now to see if he tries to use that speed again and swipe a bag and get into scoring position.
So a runner at first now with one away, and stepping in is the second baseman, Howie Kendrick. And there's ball two now.
Big sweeping breaking ball right there. A good pitch, but if he wants to get him to swing at it, he'll have to bring it in a little bit closer to the strike zone.
Fly ball out toward left center field. Marisnick is under it. And that's the second out of the inning.
The left fielder, number 22, Juan Soto.
Juan Soto to the plate now. It was a fly out for him in his last trip. 2 out with the man at first. Drilled to the right side. And a backhanded reach at first, but he can't flag it down. And that runner will go no further than second as there are 2 aboard now.
He looked a little bit out in front right there, but he's able to pull that ground ball through the hole for a single.
So next will be the 4-hole for the Nationals, Vladimir Guerrero. And Dan, this could be a real make or break situation at this point in the game.
Yeah, Matt, at least scoring 1 run in this inning is so important to them to possibly get back into this thing. Baseball doesn't have a clock, but you only have 27 outs to work with. They're running out of those pretty quick.
2 down, runners at first and second. And this is on the inside edge, perhaps off the inside edge, but it's a called strike. 2-2 now. From the stretch, swung on in the dirt, strike 3. And the throw to first ends the inning. So it's no runs on a hit, no errors, and 2 men left on. Home half of the 8th, straight ahead. It's the Mets 6 and the Nationals 3. Here's Jed Lowry now. Lifetime against Joe Ross. He's a perfect 2 for 2. He's taken him deep once. And a half swing here, but he pretty clearly went around, and it's 1-2 now. And a sinker dips too low there. Into the dirt, in fact. And that's low, so a good eye there as he works the count back full.
That's where he wants that sinker to end up, but that was a nice job of laying off.
And this is taken here for ball 4. So the leadoff man's on base to kick off the home 8th.
The catcher, number 40, Wilson Ramos.
Stepping in, Wilson Ramos. He reached on a single last time and later wound up scoring. Nobody out, runner on first. Line to the right side, and that'll get down for a base hit. And that runner will go no further than second as there are 2 aboard now.
Now batting, center fielder, Jake Marisnick.
Stepping in now, Jake Marisnick. Line drive to center field. Dawson is there, and he has it for the first out.
Now batting, number 6.
So the lineup flips over, and digging in, Jeff McNeil. Struggling so far in this one and looking to erase his 0 for 4 ball game right here. No offer on that one. 2 balls and a strike.
A time to start making some quality pitches. He finds himself in a tough spot behind an account with guys on base.
He's set, and the 2-1 pitch. 3-1.
I love the approach out on the mound. Everything's down in the zone as it should be, but now you find yourself in a 3-1 count. Do you elevate a little bit more and get back in this zone, or do you just pitch around them?
Hitters count all the way. Here it comes. Now a big fastball, and he's well behind it with the swing.
Can't come out of his game plan right here. He knows he's a known sinker baller. I know it was a 4-seamer right there, but get back to that 2-seam. It's what his MO is.
3-2 pitch. On the ground to Kendrick. This might be 2. Reined in to second for 1, and the relay won't nearly be in time as he's there easily.
Great job of hustle there by the base runner. That looked like an easy inning-ending double play. Now runners at first and third with 2 outs.
Big spot here. Runners at the corners, 2 gone. And up next, the left-handed hitting Michael Conforto. Runners on first and third, 2 away. Swings through it for strike number 2. Hit out towards second. Kendrick has it. And the 2-out threat will not come to pass as the inning is over. No runs, a hit, 2 left. We've played 8 full. It's the Mets 6 and the Nationals 3. John Franco comes on from the pen, hoping to finish this one off here in the top of the ninth.
John Franco.
All set for the start of the inning, and that means up next it'll be the Hall of Famer Andre Dawson.
They look like they're up against it here, down 3 on the road, trying to come back against the closer.
Swing, line drive. That's going to be trouble. Around first, he's digging for second. And he will pull into second with a leadoff double.
When it left his bat, I thought it might squirt foul, but it hugged the line and found its way into the corner. Thought it might be a little bit closer play at second, but he cruised in there with relative ease.
To the plate now, Gary Carter. And a fastball misses there, ball 4.
The closer is supposed to slam the door on his opponent, but he left the door wide open with a walk there. We'll see if they can capitalize on it.
Asdrubal Cabrera will get a chance to swing the bat here, and he'll do it in a good spot as he has runners at first and second and nobody out in the inning. None out, runners at first and second. Edge of the zone that time, taken and ruled a strike. Tough pitch to lay off there, but he did, and it's even up at 2-2.
Hey, this isn't going to be an easy save. These guys are making him work for this one.
He's set. Here's the 2-2. A swing, and he pops him up on the infield, and the infield fly rule will be in effect here.
Now batting, the first baseman, Ryan Zimmerman.
Stepping up to the plate, Ryan Zimmerman. He's got a hit in 3 at-bats to this point. Runners are at first and second with 1 away. To 2 balls and 2 strikes now. Good swing on a tough pitch, and he'll stick around to see another one. The 2-2 one more time. Josh Harrison will be next. Line to the right side, but that's a foul ball. Working for the punch out and the offering, and he misses with that one. Ball 4, and that's going to load the bases now with still only 1 away.
The third baseman, number 5, Josh Harrison.
So bases are loaded, nowhere to put him with 1 away, and that'll bring up Josh Harrison. Bases are loaded here, 1 man out. Here's a fly ball, well hit. Right fielder giving chase. Reaches out. Oh no, he dropped it. 1 run is scored. And they'll hold that runner at third, so everyone moves up, and they remain loaded here with still only 1 gone.
Hey, sometimes you just got to tip your cap right there. You execute a nice pitch down in the zone, think you're going to get a ground ball or a swing and a miss, and you find yourself with a man on first. Got to regroup.
Justin Wilson answers the call from dugout as he'll try to record the final 2 outs of this one.
Wilson.
Into the box, Trey Turner. Skied into straightaway right. Catch is made here in right, and here comes the runner from third. And he is out at the plate. Trying to get a little too greedy when he didn't need to be, and this ball game is over.
Hey, one of the keys to having a good record in baseball is to win some games at home. So this was a big win to win at home in front of their home crowd.
6-4 the outcome today. New York jumped ahead in the 7th inning and never gave the lead back. Dylan Betances claims the win out of the pen, his first. So that just about does it for Mark DeRosa, Dan Plesac, Heidi Watney, and our entire crew. I'm Matt Vasgersian. You've been watching MLB The Show. For more, make your way over to theshownation.com.
The final line score for this afternoon's ball game. For the victorious New York Mets, 6 runs, 8 hits, no errors. They left 9 runners on base. For the Nationals, 4 runs on 8 hits, 1 error. They left 8 runners on base. Time of the ball game, 3 hours and 14 minutes. Thank you for joining us here this afternoon. And we remind you to please drive home safely.